All right, so here we are. Oh my gosh. What a way to begin. Oh my goodness. I apologize everyone. We
It's
were
on me.
having a little we were having a little technical issues, but we're here. We're live. All right, let me start over again. Hello everyone. Hello remnants. Hey Marissa, how are you? So glad you're with us. Oh, you can hear me, right? Look, I'm sweating, I'm nervous, all of that.
I this is my first live, and so I thought I was good because it did a mic check, and I was like, I got this. It's checked me. I'm good to go. So yeah, that's on me. Sorry.
It's all good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. I just have to warn everyone, my home is my studio for now. If you hear any background noise, I can't help it. But let's begin. We are here live, okay, because of what has been going on in the nation, right? And before we continue, I wanted to present why we are here. So if you will give me a moment, let me get into that. Okay, so I can only I can only watch but so much of that. So I just wanted to just give us like a brief, snapshot of again why we are here. And with that being said, I want to introduce my guest, okay, my new friend. I call her a trailblazer, okay, because of why she's even here. Um, I will be honest, I scheduled the live conversation on a different topic, right? But because of the video, and this is my second time watching that video. The first time was earlier today researching on the video so that I can show you. So basically, my first time is today, is watching it. My first time watching it is today. And I was almost in tears, and it made me understand why, Marissa, you are doing what you're doing. So I would like us to please, you know, welcome with your comments, with your hellos, with your hands high, giving her a clap emoji. This is Marissa Larson, and she is the creator, okay, the founder of the Facebook group, White Women Against Racism. Talk about seeing something, standing up, and actually moving forward to make a change. Marissa, hats off to you. You are the bomb, girl. So please, just jump in there. I can talk forever. Jump in there. Talk, please introduce yourself, introduce your group, and please tell us exactly like what prompted you to create the group and the mission of the group.
So we've had some chats, so I can ramble as well. So I'll apologize if
Go ahead.
public speaking is not my thing.
I'm
Uh,
shaking, so don't worry about it.
I don't want to necessarily get into my background, but I'll say really quickly. My parents provided me an opportunity growing up. We lived in different countries. We spent summers in different countries. Um, you know, I've been a new person, living in different states, you know, and so it gives me a little bit of a lens, of being like uncomfortable and new, that I've always appreciated, that, you know, there's more out there than just the bubble that sometimes we live in.
Right.
When was this group created? It was created on May 27th. I think that was the day that I forced myself to watch the entire video start to finish. You know, I'll be honest, I think it broke me. Thursday, you know, throughout this whole quarantining, you know, I've had my glasses of wine to kind of, you know, calm down the whole COVID thing. But that night, it was my anniversary with my husband, and you know, we drank a lot, and I think that part of that was because of this raging guilt, that I was feeling. And all day Thursday, which would be May 28th, I was angry. I had a pity party. I cried. I was mad at myself. I was mad at everything. You know, I was just like, this is enough. And then Friday is when I started inviting people to this group. So I sat on it for a couple of days, and you know, Friday was also the day that I signed up for my first protest with the Tampa chapter of Black Lives Matter. You know, I didn't know that this was going to become as big as it is.
Me either.
No, I mean, you know, since I would say May 29th, when I started inviting people, we have 1,300 people in our point. I have 145 people that are pending, asking to come into the group.
Wow.
So we are bottlenecked trying to get through that, and I think that's amazing and very overwhelming. But the reason, you know, I mean, I created this because I always thought that I was an ally to the Black community. You know, I know that this sounds, and this sounds so terrible, but in high school, I made a lot of Black friends, that, you know, you know, we talk. I mean, I graduated in 2001, and we're still talking on, you know, especially on Facebook and social media. And so it was one of those things that, you know, I always felt like whenever those moments came to me, you know, I would stand up and I would say, this is terrible. I'd post on my personal Facebook page. I'd have those hard conversations with people. I'd point out to random strangers, you know, if I saw something. But what I realized is that I was always waiting for those moments to come to me, and to me to be present. And I think that even when you don't realize that you're in a bubble, or you don't necessarily want to be in a bubble, you just tend to gravitate towards a bubble.
Yeah.
Your own bubble.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we've got to be habit forming to like get out of there. And so I was realizing that the things that I was doing, while they were the right thing, they weren't battling and like really stepping up and making the bigger changes that has to happen.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't think you're alone on that. No. Because even me as well, being a Black woman, okay, you know, watching everything, it made me feel like, well, dang, I felt like I was in the bubble. You know, I felt like, okay, here it is. This is what's going on around me. And I am just sitting here in my corner and acting as if, okay, it'll just blow over, or okay, this is just another incident. Oh, okay. But like you said, when when all of this just blew up the way it did, and then again, you know, actually like I remember one day watching the protest. Oh my God, like everything being burned, the fighting, the chaos. Like I literally was in tears. right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, God, what has become of your world? You know, and then that's when I was like, you know what, I know I have a different broadcast today, but I have to deal with this topic. You know, I have to, if anything, you know, what resources do I have that I can use, right, to do something? And that's when I said, let me reach out to. First, I thought, I wonder if there's any Facebook group. Shout out to Marcia Lewis, because she gave me the idea of, you know, going out on the Facebook group, because they have a Facebook group for everything.
Right.
So when I searched, I saw the title "White Women Against Racism." I was like, whoa! Further, whoa! Whoever created this is bold and courageous. So I said, let me reach out. And then I saw the admins, and I'm like, who do I reach out to? Thank God I picked the right person, which was you. Okay.
They would have all been the right person, though.
I'm sure. I am so sure. And so that's when I reached out to you, and you were very welcoming. And we've got on the call a couple of times, a few times, and we talked about your mission and everything. And I said, yes, let's do this at least. And of course, I want to do so much more, and I plan on, you know, doing so much more. But I believe that this is a step, and you yourself made a step. So I know I didn't give you a chance to talk about the mission. So go ahead, dive into the mission of White Women Against Racism.
Well, and you know, my apologies. You know, I think that what I want to talk about, you know, is the name, because
Okay.
it's been, I think it's the first thing, and it's part of the mission, you know, obviously, but my biggest feedback that has been more on the negative side has been the title "White Women, you know, Against Racism." Not
Who
because,
has been giving you those feedbacks?
well, honestly, a lot of white people. You know, my husband, who's totally against, you know, totally for me and has been 100% supportive of this, was like, well, are you kind of being a little, you know, like, isn't there some irony in what you're saying? And I said, you know, yeah. But here's the thing, you know, we are all different puzzle pieces. We all have different skill sets. We all have different experiences, and that shape the world that we are in. And
Right.
white privilege is not, I mean, it's a thing. And one of our first questions to enter the group is, do you believe that white privilege is a thing? And I think that coming to grips and starting to educate yourself on what that means, and not feeling discomfort about that, is really important, you know, for us to make the next step. And so, of course, women have come to me and they're like, you know, why can't we be women against racism? And I'm like, Black people, you know, Black women have been doing this. You know, the NAACP, you know, has no W in it. It has nothing to do with white people, but they accept white people. They want white people in there. They want us to join with them. But their mission is, you know, for color, you know, the advancement of colored people. It's not for the advancement of white people, but white people need to be involved. And so for me, right now, we need to educate. We allow everybody, every race, every gender, every political.
I'm a part of the group.
Every political, and you can attest, you know, we will shut down, you know, conversations that are not, you know, furthering this. Every political affiliation. This is not a Democratic group. It's not a Republican group. It's not a Libertarian group. It is. We invite everybody who wants to take those first steps. And I've, you know, and you've come up and you've given a perspective to some of the women who maybe live in small towns that are in a bubble, and they don't think that this is as pervasive as it is across the United States. And so I try to make sure everybody knows that everyone is welcome, but it is to educate and to help mobilize white women and maybe hopefully white men, but I'm a woman and I know how to talk to women, so, it's a whole other, but mobilize us, use this white privilege that we have to join these other groups, to join our Black, women, our Asian women, our anybody who has been subject to discrimination or doesn't feel comfortable leaving their home sometimes, or has to have those conversations with their kids about how the world is not what the media, the happy place that, Nickelodeon and some of these media, channels, portray. There is good in this world. We have to mobilize that good, and we have to educate that good, and we have to take a small step. We've got women coming into this group who, they're just now waking up and seeing this. And then we've got women in this group who have been fighting this fight, who have been protesting, who have been there for like what seems like their whole life. And what we are asking, we need to stay patient with those of us who are waking up. We need to stay patient, and we need to help get us all there, because the people who have been fighting this fight, you're going to continue to fight this fight. We need to get the rest of us on board. So.
Right. And I totally adore that, because one of the things that I hear when you specifically, highlight white women is accountability. We just and let me, before we even continue, I feel like I just have to let everyone know, this is a conversation with two women that, are seeking change, right? There's nothing political backing what we say. There's we are against racism. So anything that you hear, it is us talking from our hearts, right, towards change. So with that being said, I like the fact that you are holding, people accountable. And like you said, it's from the basis of different pieces of a puzzle coming together to complete that puzzle. So as you have your, and again, White Women Against Racism is open to everyone. Okay, let's not forget that. It's open to everyone, right? And it's just like anyone could say, Remnants of Red, oh, why is it only women that you cater to? Why can't you cater to men too? Why can't you cater to children too? Is who I'm holding accountable, is who I want to educate, for change, just as you are. So hats off to you again for that. So what are some of the things that you are hoping to come out? Before that, what are some of the ways specifically that you plan on using, the tools you plan on using to educate the women of your group?
So it's because like I said, it's only been a week. It's evolved, right? Like what we do. I'm in Tampa, Florida. I've got a great group of friends who, decided to join this group as well. But with that, it's blown up. We're across the nation. We have people all across the nation. And so it's kind of evolved a little bit, but education in what's going on, what's statistics, how can we make those stuff? So when somebody posts something on the website, it needs to fit into one of, I'd like to say, two categories. One, this is an education, like this is something that hasn't been repeated. So we don't need to constantly be harping on the same things, unless it is a new perspective or something that we can learn from or have a good dialogue about, or action. I've gotten a couple of admin and they're actually across the whole nation. We've been talking on the phone all week, and we've been finding people, lawyers, we've been finding PR people, marketing people. I just had a wonderful woman who said, I design websites. Do you need a website? I'll do it.
Nice.
I also do logos. Do you want me to do this? And so women are coming together. And so as people are offering up their skill sets and their time, we're finding out. On Sunday, we have one of our admins, Crystal Lutton. She's going to be giving a talk on how we change, our communication, how we do.
Nice.
There's a meme that really was just, awesome, and it was that when people are talking about the riots and saying, I'm really sad that a Black man died, but why are we rioting? Why are we destroying things? When what we should have been saying and prioritizing is, man, these riots are terrible, but we need to stop Black men dying. And it's such a powerful one, and it's such a, oh shit, yes, oh my gosh, and I think we got to give ourselves some grace, and understanding that sometimes we say things wrong. One of my biggest fears on this group is that I misspeak. My passion and my anger gets ahead of thinking how my message is being given.
Right.
But the great thing is that, in this group, we've tried to say, we got to respect. And so I've been checked by, a lot of my admin, and said, oh, no, this sounds like this. And I'm like, oh my God. And in fact, like one of the things that, has come to be is, stop asking your Black friends to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make the step to educate yourself. I mean, you can ask, hey, I got this, or I got this, but we need to stop asking them to fix this, to tell us how to fix this problem. And we need to, research the laws in our cities, see where, police, brutality, is pervasive, and see why. Is there part of their training that they're missing? Is there whatever? And let me be very straight on that point. We are not anti-police. We need to support.
Glad you said that.
We need to give them the tools. They are human. They are going out there, and the problem with what I like to, I tell my kids, there are good people and there are bad people in this world, and that's it. I mean, just to be simplistic, right? I mean, they're 3 and 6. What you have to look for, though, sometimes good people do bad things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes bad people do good things. And you've got them in every occupation, every race, every political affiliation. And so you've got, but the biggest problem is that the bad people, they crave the power. They make it hard for them to be removed. They make it hard for them to be held accountable, because they're bad people. They don't care about the greater good. And so, there are good Democrats, there are good Republicans. Like, we have got to stand up, look at how our society is built, find the areas in which we need to make changes, and we need to give the power back to the good people in each and every single one of those, areas in life. And right now, I think the police are one of it. So we support them, but we need to look at what we can do to help them. So we've got we've got a bunch of ladies who are trying to research their own laws in their cities, and figure out a letter, and then give a template and say, hey, this is what I did. Here's how you can replicate it across the U.S.
I like that. That is so true, and it's funny because I was having a conversation with a few of my coworkers, and one of them, right? She's half Black and she's half Hispanic, right? So she she came across a situation where she was um looked to for a certain situation. I don't want to go too in depth because I don't want to like expose, because I know if certain people hear it, they'll know, oh, her, no, whatever. But I bring up this situation because she refused, right, to speak on something because she felt, she was put in the place of what would I call it? Like it was a situation where the person who asked this of her should have taken the responsibility to educate themselves in order to, deal with an employee that wasn't even my coworker's employee, by the way. So you have a manager that's defaulting to someone else, but then now I understand, because hey, it's not an excuse.
Right.
Even if you don't know, you can't stay in that position. Go and get the information. That is education. Knowledge is very, very powerful. I might even go out on a limb and say that a lot of this stuff is because of ignorance. You know, and for you to now place that responsibility on people. And again, please don't shoot me, don't kill the mess, don't whatever. These are my opinions, and just like everyone else, they could be wrong, I could be wrong, we could be right, whatever. But again, you're right, it's about educating yourselves, getting the knowledge. And it's not just white people, because Black people need to be empowered with education as well. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with the education, with education being a means of empowering people for change, right? Because it's all about change. And I wanted to go into one of the questions that is being asked, and Marcia, she's asking, how can people help your cause?
Join it. I mean, join it. Look at yourself and what are you good at? What do you want to be good at? I have a friend who called me up, and she's like, my drive has always been lobbying and taking on government, the governments, and looking into these things. Can I help you? And I'm like, absolutely. It's not what she does now, but it's one of those things that she's always been interested in, and changing and doing something that you've never done before. It's scary. It's uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
It's scary. I'll be honest, and you know yourself. I've never managed or admin or created a Facebook group. I have never, I've been in managerial roles in accounting, which I think has helped me, to be like, I need a team, and I need to empower them and delegate to them. It's no longer my group. It's everybody's group. And so we've done, I think we've done a good job of it so far. But joining the group with an open mind and a thought for patience, and making sure to always steer some of these conversations to what can we do.
Right.
Like I said earlier, we've got to, we have a tendency to want to post things that that we don't like, or that's even educational, and then step back and say, all right, I stood up and I posted this thing that is highly emotional. I did my part. It's not good enough anymore,
Right.
Good making the step, because nowadays with internet trolls and people feeling empowered to like beat down people who are posting things, unfortunately, it is a hard thing to step out and post something of this nature, because it's kind of drawing a line as to where you are, and then feeling that backlash. But we can't worry about that. That, I would say to white women, that is our white privilege. to not post these things, to not stand up, to be able to decide to retreat and step back from these things, you know, and be comfortable. And this is not comfortable. The people of color, you know, people of color and Black people, they are not comfortable in their, you know, in many aspects of this world. And that is not fair. And that is something that we need to change. And, you know, I don't know that answered your question. I mean, again, this is my team. But
yes, yeah.
Join the group with an open mind, an open heart, and a dedication to yourself to keep going even past the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, the election, the next election, like all this stuff. This is not going to go away. This is not a trending. I mean, it's trending now, but we have got to make sure that we understand it's not going to go away with the next news sensation. And
yeah,
you know,
go ahead.
No,
I'm glad that you mentioned. Yeah, that's key. Two things, you know, one of them is, you know, I think when it comes to change, right, especially in the face of such a sensitive, huge thing as what goes on in our society, people tend to look at themselves and they tend to wonder, like, what can I possibly do? You know, this is bigger than me. Yes, it is bigger than you. But one of the things that I tend to tell people any chance that I get is that you can start where you are. You know, like, for example, if you're a beautician, while you're doing hair, you're having a conversation. That conversation is empowering. You're a mechanic. While you're fixing the car, you're having a conversation. I mean, it was just maybe a few weeks ago that I started these videos. Okay, sorry. My child is video bombing. It was just like maybe a few weeks ago that I started the conversations, and I said to myself, okay, this is something that I'm doing right now. So why don't I use this? So it's about using whatever talents, whatever tools that you're an artist. This is kind of, you're an artist. Draw empowering pictures. You know, there are different avenues that we can use. Again, we're all puzzle pieces of this bigger puzzle. So you have the talent, use it, use what you have. There's like, you know, I'm reminded of a scripture, right? There's a Bible story and with Moses and the Red Sea, and he's like, God, how am I going to do this? How is this Red Sea going to split? What am I going to? And then God is looking at him like, use what's in your hand. Hello, I gave you, I empowered you already. So use that. And, you know, even taking it outside of Christianity, we all have talents again. So I am nudging, I am poking, I am asking that people just use what you have and go out there, do something, right? And then the second part is, Obama mentioned it in the town hall that he did maybe a few days ago, and he's like telling everyone, please, like, don't let this fire die down. Right? When the protests get quieter or when things tend to, like, he's like, no, don't let it die down. You have to keep the fire burning. Keep it going. Keep it going. You know, and even just keep the fire burning. Just keep it going. Maybe you may not see protests out there, but then you're still drawing the pictures. You're still having the conversations, right? I have a friend of mine. She's urging that people go out to your town's meeting when they're holding a city hall meeting. Go out there. Yeah, maybe politics is not your thing, but you live in a city. You need to know what's going on with your city. You need to participate in you know, deciding on the rules that go on in your city, right? So there are many ways. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just look at what you got and see how you can use that. And you know, I wanted to start wrapping up, right? But I didn't want us to leave without you. You know, I want you to speak to everyone watching, right? And this is going to be shared. So I want you to speak to the world, and I want you to tell the world tell the world your message. You may have said it, but I want you to reiterate what your heart passion is, what your mission is, and what you want people to get out of this.
Get uncomfortable. Do something you know is right. Look in the mirror. Have an open mind. We're all going to be wrong at some points. We might have said some things,
Right.
done some things, but we do not. That doesn't need to be who we are. That doesn't need to be who our children look up to. It's what you do now that you need to look at yourself and make sure that you're doing the right thing.
I like that. And there it is, remnants, right? If anyone is wondering why I call you remnants, I call you remnants because remnants in my eyes are people they are the few out there that have decided to take their purpose and make a change. So when I say remnants, please think of yourself as a trailblazer, as a trendsetter, as someone who sees issues, right? And you become solution driven. So you are a remnant. And with that being said, I thank you, everyone. Marissa, oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for what you are doing. And I'm hoping that one day I would have to pull out a ballot and vote for you. Maybe I'll find a ballot with your name on it and I go and put a check next to your name. Okay.
I love you, but you need to calm that down because I said some more harsh words to a friend of mine that brought that up, but we're on camera. Kids.
So I'm not alone on this. But again, thank you so much for what you are doing. Oh my gosh, it's such empowering. It's so inspiring. Oh my God. And again, you are courageous for what you're doing because I can't even imagine, you're just hearing maybe a little bit of probably a bunch of negative feedback that a lot of people, and you're probably just hearing the kind version, but I'm sure a lot of people are saying a whole lot of things, but you're like, I don't care. Like, my passion for this is bigger than what anyone can think. And I thank you for that. Remnants out there, I'm thanking you for watching because you are supporting. When you tune in and you watch the videos, you are supporting. But like Marissa said, I'm going to even encourage you to go a step further. Share the videos. Go on Remnants of Red page. Like it if follow if you feel that what we're doing is positive, is change, worthy or inspiration worthy. Go on to the Facebook group, White Women Against Racism. I don't care if you are white, Black, Hispanic, if you're an alien, go on there because you are sure to, if you don't know what to do, you're sure to get inspiration when you go on that page. On Remnants of Red is on Instagram. Go on there, follow. YouTube, these are going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel. I was never tech savvy, but I know this is something that I have to do if I'm going to reach people. So please support. And again, thank you, Marissa. And I'm going to leave you to go and fight the good fight.
Thank you so much.
Someone mentioned Nate. Wait, someone mentioned Margaret Lang is, I hope I didn't chop your last name. She's like, inspiring maybe YouTube to keep the conversation going, maybe weekly or monthly. I don't know. Listen, Marissa, if you want me to come on your page or on your group, chat, I'm with it. Whenever you want me to come on, I'm there. Okay?
Well,
on that note, all right, my munchkins are bum rushing my area now. So on that note, I'm going to leave you now. All right. Have a great day.